This chart tracks male sperm counts from 1970 to the present day. The decline is averaging 2.5% per year. If this trajectory continues, the median sperm count will reach 0 by the year 2045. That puts the average young couple less than 25 years away from a point where conception is nearly impossible without medical intervention. While common explanations for this decline focus on genetics, age, or lifestyle stress, the clinical evidence points toward a different culprit. The driver is a specific group of environmental toxins called endocrine disruptors. Over the last century, these chemicals have been integrated into almost every facet of modern life. These compounds scramble your internal communications. They physically bind to cellular receptors, mimicking or blocking the hormone signals that regulate human reproduction. Human fertility is currently performing a direct biological response to a highly engineered, toxic environment. These toxins enter the human body through 3 main pathways, beginning with the foundational elements of our food system. The first point of entry is industrial agriculture. We distribute millions of pounds of pesticides designed to destroy the nervous systems of insects and fungi, chemicals that are then introduced directly into our biology. As this list shows, high-risk crops like strawberries and spinach carry the heaviest residues. These pesticides penetrate the cellular structure of the plant, becoming a permanent part of the fruit we consume. The second pathway is through plastics and forever chemicals like PFAS. These leach synthetic estrogens into our blood from non-stick cookware and processed food packaging. The saturation is so pervasive that microplastics are now found physically embedded inside 100% of tested human placentas and testicles. Finally, food additives like potassium bromate or synthetic dyes are used to alter the texture of bread and the color of candy, compounds frequently linked to DNA damage. This exposure is sanctioned by local policy. The United States currently permits dozens of agricultural pesticides and additives that have been strictly banned in the European Union for decades. This regulatory gap leaves the average citizen exposed to a daily cocktail of chemical castrators. Clinical studies conducted at Harvard and Massachusetts General Hospital suggest that this biological damage can be reversed through environmental changes. In men, those who switched to the lowest pesticide exposure group saw their sperm counts double within 6 months. The data for women in the same fertility clinic showed nearly double the successful live births when pesticide intake was reduced. Your body is a resilient system. It responds to the removal of these chemical interferences by restoring natural vitality over the course of a single reproductive cycle. Since industrial regulations are slow to change, protecting your biology requires you to proactively redesign your immediate environment. This is the central argument of the book Total Reboot, reclaiming control by prioritizing living, organic food over engineered products. Creating a recovery environment depends on 4 pillars: food sourced from the land, integration with nature, community connection, and a consistent daily structure. The Bahia Reboot Health Retreat in Brazil serves as a physical blueprint for these principles, using its specific layout to facilitate a systemic reset. The retreat insulates guests from endocrine disruptors by using on-site organic agroforestry and toxin-free kitchens to provide a clean biological baseline. This approach is currently being applied to the permanent residential communities of Coastal Horizons, Brazil, which integrate local food systems directly into the neighborhood topography. You cannot heal in the same environment that made you sick. Reclaiming your fertility requires choosing a different ecosystem.